Well, I suppose it's time we were at table, said Maria Dmitrieva. Count took Maria.
Yeah.
Countess
Follow.
took somebody else's arm to come in. Then came Anna Mikhailovna with Shinshin. Burke gave his arm to Vera.
Okay.
The smiling Julie Karigna went in with Nicholas.
Oh.
Hi everyone.
Hello， 大家中午好。
So we met Maria last time.
Yes.
And today we're gonna see what she's gonna tell to Pierre, right?
Oh yeah.
So apparently I think she likes Pierre, but let's figure out.
Okay.
A fine lad, my word, a fine lad. His father lies on his deathbed and he amuses himself setting a policeman astride a bear. So who's a fine lad here?
Pierre.
Right. So he's saying that his father is dying on the deathbed and he's amusing himself, having fun by putting a policeman next to a bear. So she's critical to him. She's criticizing him.
So lad is a bad guy.
Lad is a young boy.
Okay.
For shame, sir, for shame. It would be better if you went to the war. So she said.
It's a lady, okay?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But she's big, okay?
Okay.
She turned away and gave her hand to the count, who could hardly keep from laughing. The count is laughing.
So
don't know
she
why.
gave her hand to the count.
Yes.
Why?
To kiss normally.
The count will kiss her hand.
Yeah, normally that's how that
Okay.
was. Or at least take her wherever she's going to
Oh.
sit. Well, I suppose it's time we were at table, said Maria Dmitrieva. The count went in first with Maria Dmitrieva. The countess followed on the arm of Colonel of Hussars, so some military person. So the count took Maria.
Yeah.
Countess
Follow.
took somebody else's arm to come in.
Follow her on the arms of a.
Colonel. Colonel is somebody like pretty higher in the Hussars, the people who goes with horses, I think. Somebody in the military, doesn't matter. It doesn't give a name, so it's not important. A man of importance to them. So this guy's important because
So hold his hand, right?
yes, this man, a man of importance to them because Nicholas was going to go with him to the regiment. So Nicholas is going to go with him.
Okay.
Then came Anna Mikhailovna with Shinshin. Burke gave his arm to Vera.
Okay.
The smiling Julie Karigna went.
Who is she?
I don't know who Julia Karigna went in with Nicholas.
Oh.
After them, that's Julia. Julie is the one that was
Visitor?
the visitor that Nicholas was having kind of smiling to.
Oh.
After them, other couples followed, filling the whole dining room.
Okay.
And last of all, the children, tutors, teachers, governesses, people take care of the little children, follow singly. So those are unmarried people, if you like, or no partner people.
Followed singly means they sing the song.
No, follow singly means that they don't have anybody with them.
Oh, single.
Yeah.
So governess means the people who take care of the child,
Yes.
like servers.
Just like take care of the children. Yeah.
Okay.
Footmen that began moving about, chairs scraped, the band struck in the gallery, and the guests settled down in their places. So footmen were moving about. Chairs were moving around on the ground.
Why?
Because they need to move the chairs. People need to sit.
Oh yeah.
And the band is people playing music.
Oh, the band struck up in the
Gallery. They're on the first floor. Gallery is on the second floor. They're playing on the second floor.
gallery on the second floor.
Yeah.
The band struck up.
Began playing
Began play.
music. And then the guests settled down in their places. They began to settle down. They began to sit down.
Yeah.
Then the strains of the count's household band were replaced by the clatter of knives and forks. Then the strain of the count's household band. I don't know why I call it strains, but instead of hearing music, the sound came from the clatter of knives and forks. A lot of knives and forks. So it became.
What does this mean?
Like I said, I told you, I don't know why they use the word strains here. Because it doesn't make sense to me. Basically, I think they're trying to play very loudly. The music band's trying to play very loudly, because there's a lot of people making noise, right? So you cannot hear their music. I think that's all that means.
The strings of the count's household band.
Yeah.
Maybe the sound, right? Were replaced by the clatter of knife and forks. Okay. The voice of visitors.
And the soft steps of the footmen.
Okay.
At one end of the table sat the Countess with Maria Dmitrieva on her right.
At the end of the table sat the
One countess was at the end, with Maria on her right.
Okay.
And Anna Mikolavli on her left. So
Okay.
Maria and Anna. The other lady visitors were further down. I don't know.
Oh.
At the other end sat the count. The count
Okay,
at the other
at
end.
the
With the
end.
hussar colonel. We know about the hussar colonel. And the Xin Xing on the on the other side. And the other male visitors on his right. Midway down the long table on one side sat the grown-up young people. So in the middle sat the grown-up young people. Vera with Berg, Pierre besides Boris, so Pierre found Boris. And the other side the children, tutors and governesses. From behind the crystal decanters and fruit vases, so behind the crystal decanter, so that's crystal decanters like a jug of water people used to put water, and fruit vases. The count kept glancing at his wife and her tall cap with its light blue ribbons, and busily filled his neighbor's glasses, not neglecting his own. So he was looking at his wife. I don't know, she's far off on the other side.
And
with his light, she was looking at her cap, her hat, with light blue ribbons, whatever. And he was busily filling his neighbor's glasses, not neglecting his own. The countess in turn, without not neglecting, not forgetting his own.
What?
Not forgetting his own.
Not forgetting means he
Even his own, he's filling his own glass with water. The countess in turn, without committing her duties as hostess, so without omitting, so she's without getting rid of her duties. Omitting means not look at her duties. So without omitting means that she's doing her duties.
in turn.
Yeah.
Take turn.
No. In turn means like the count is doing this, she in turn is doing this. So it's just a way of saying it. He's doing this and she in turn is doing this. Through significant glances from behind the pineapples at her husband. So she's looking at her husband. And she has pineapples in front of she has pineapples in front of her. He has fruit vases in front of her, whose face and bald head seem by their redness to contrast more than usual with his gray hair. So somehow his head, his bald, and the redness of his head was contrasted more than usual. So it was more red than usual. I don't know why.
With her husband's bald head seemed by their redness.
The color red.
By
red color, red.
By red is to
redness.
Redness to
contrast more than usual with his gray hair.
Her face and bald head. So her husband's face and bald head is much more red than usual.
Red to contrast.
Red to
the redness contrast.
What does contrast mean?
To contrast more, because his head seemed to contrast more than usual. Normally his head is red already, but it's saying that this time it seems even more red than the contrast. Is just a difference. Like there's a contrast between here and here. There's a contrast between here and here. Contrast. There's a contrast in color between here and here. There's very little contrast between here and here. They look almost like the same color. So contrast is like a difference of something. So the difference between his redness and his gray hair, there's two colors, red and gray.
Yeah.
So the contrast was even larger. Here, the contrast is not very large, but when you put, say, some other red in here, the contrast is large between here. At the ladies' end, an even chatter of voices was heard all the time. So you could hear people chatting all the time. At the men's end...
At the ladies' end?
Yeah, the end of the table. So ladies is sitting one end, men are sitting one end, children are sitting on one end, okay?
So at the ladies' end and
even chatter of voices was heard all the time.
Okay.
Even means...
Much more?
No. Even means very, not going up and down too much, means even.
Even chatter of voices.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the men's end, the voices sounded louder and louder, so they're going up. Especially that of the colonel of the hussars. So colonel is like talking louder and louder. Who growing more and more flushed, so he's drinking a lot of wine. And ate and drank so much that the count held him up as a pattern to the other guests. So count says, look, this guy's eating so much and drinking so much. Your pattern. Everybody should be doing that. That's what
as a pattern, modern.
Pattern.
As a model,
maybe.
Model.
To the other guests, Bert, with tender smiles, was saying to Vera that love is not an earthly but a heavenly feeling. Oh my God.